It is with a heavy heart that I must come and say that we appear to have lost someone, one of our dear members. As you may or may not know, Hoogland has decided that he is taking a break because we stressed him out too much. It was too much negativity, too much a foulness in the dark depths of our internet hate dwells. You know, it's just these things happen, so we just gotta move through it. There is a bit of a complication, though, that I've noticed. So, according to Hoogland on Twitter, the reason that he's decided to take a break is because the game's not in a good state right now. But that was based on a champion getting changed that got immediately changed back shortly after he said he was gonna take a break. So you would assume that it would bring him back, but he hasn't made anything on it recently, so I guess that's not really the case. So what might be the actual case? Well, based on the post that he made later on, it's actually because he can't interact with people online. We made it too difficult for him. If he comes on forums and he has to see mean posts, that's just unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. Well, thankfully, we could have some insight as to what he may or may not consider being mean and how we can change in order to provide a more Hoog-friendly environment. On his Twitter, again, you can see that his Twitch rules are pretty clear. There are rules about posting dissenting opinions. You can't just, post things that don't agree with him. That would be crazy. Who would let someone do something like that on the internet, of all places? No. In order to do that, you're going to have to explain everything, just everything about it. Why you think that way, why you feel that way, what age your first dog died at, just whatever. But most importantly, if you act like an adult, you'll be treated like an adult. If you act like a child, you'll be treated like a child. Now, that seems pretty clear to me. If you ask your questions or state your opinions in an adult fashion, there won't be any trouble. But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. It's just not. Let's just go through this tweet here. Somebody said that Modern was diverse when Twin was in it. And then they changed their mind, or they clarified. They said, well, no, actually, I think that it was just the top 8s weren't. And Hoogland, following his rules very clearly, just decided that they looked it up and you were wrong. So you're banned. That's it. That was the adult thing to do. Somebody said something that was wrong, you found the information that corrected them, and rather than perhaps share that information with them and say, hey, you were wrong about that. Maybe try to be better informed in the future. No, man, that's great. I think that's a reasonable thing to do. So it would be very unfortunate if Hoogland was, say, somewhere else that wasn't his Twitch, that also had clearly stated rules, and he wasn't following them. Oh, wait, that is the case. Well, it's a great fucking thing that got deleted then, because that'd be inconvenient, wouldn't it? That would really conflict with the narrative that we are all just too mean to Hoog, and we have not provided a safe space for his flagrant rule breaking and hypocrisy. Maybe that doesn't deserve a safe space. But hey, that's just my opinion, and since I've just stated it, and I haven't provided any convincing evidence for Hoog, I guess he's gonna ban me on Twitch. But let's just move on. So you can see that this is not a problem that is alone with Hex. There's problems with Reddit in general. That's another toxic cesspool that Hoogland can't handle. Not even just the Hex subreddit, because that would make sense as an extension of the same community. The Magic subreddit, where people apparently know him well enough to point out similar behavioral flaws as every fucking other person besides you, Hoog, has noticed. Yeah. Everyone doesn't agree is a troll, and once there's enough people that don't agree, it just becomes a troll pit, and then can't handle it because there's just too many trolls, even though the trolls are imaginary and you made them up. You made up the trolls. They're not real. But, you might be thinking, well, since Hoogland has all these rules that he follows and is not a hypocritical turd goblin, he would respond to this in a very adult fashion. Except Twitter says no, that's not how Hoogland responds to things. This clearly articulated, well presented post explaining Hoogland's flaws and the way that he continues to interact with communities and why that might cause him to undergo undue stress and potentially leave a game. That was responded to with a little meme picture and just calling him salty. No real response to the criticism level, just links to the thread. And I mean, I know it's Twitter, you can only post so much, but you could have at least tried. So I really think that well, I think Hexent made a mistake. See, they printed this card for him. It's called Exalted Commander. I don't think that effect line or the flavor text is correct. I think this is a bugged card. I think they meant to release it in a different state, and some way down the pipeline it just came out wrong. But thankfully, I'm a good guy, and I put in the work to fix it for them. So let's have a look at the corrected card after the bugs have been patched out. It's Exalted Commander. It's 4 cost, 2 diamond threshold, human warrior, troop obviously. It's got a 0/0, and its ability, once this has been patched into the game, which I'm sure they will do very soon, because I mean you can't let that stand, is deploy all opposing troops transform into random trolls, because everyone that isn't Hoog and is on the opposite side of pretty much anything. Like, I'm pretty sure, you know, if you mess up your Starbucks order, who's going to call you a troll? But Exalted Commander has +1/+1 for each non-troll on the battlefield, so you know, got to get those supporters in there. But he has -1/-1 for each troll on the battlefield to each troll. So that's going to mean that Hoogland's probably not going to be on the battlefield for too long. But you know what? It's really good because if he would be destroyed, he's instead still posting on the fucking forums like he said he wouldn't. And flavor text is, call it a personality defect, call it me being stupid, but at any rate, I have a problem. And I think that's a very accurate quote. And hopefully, in the future, we can ensure that Hoogland he's able to find the space that he needs in order to develop into the beautiful snowflake that he is.